This course began with a simple observation and one big question. The observation comes from Richard E. Mayer, who makes the argument that people learn better from words and pictures than from words alone. The question gives us the line of inquiry that has shaped the work we have done in the course. How can we use multimedia to enhance instruction? What I think has become clear as we have explored the key topics of presence and interaction, accessibility, and course design is that using multimedia effectively involves more than just adding a few videos here and there. Michelle Pacansky-Brock offers us a broader vision in which emerging technologies can be used in the service of participatory learning. In participatory learning, students are no longer passive consumers of information, but actively construct meaning and learning as they respond to readings and compose texts of their own. Now, writing teachers have known for a long time that students don't learn to write by reading a textbook and taking quizzes. The writing process movement dates back to the 1970s, and by the 1980s, the peer review writing workshop model was in full swing. Technologies like Daedalus Interchange used networked computer labs to support teachers who wanted to do digital peer review and collaboration in the late 1980s and early 1990s. The challenge that we face as writing teachers today is that the primary platforms we use to deliver online courses, learning management systems or LMS like Blackboard, are designed for a passive content delivery model, not for participatory collaborative workshop learning. So we're kind of working against the grain of the technology when we try to create online communities that are truly participatory. So we come back to the concepts of participation and interaction. Following Pacansky-Brock, we can begin to think about how we can design and nurture online learning experiences that are truly participatory communities. In her infographic on how to humanize your online course, Pacansky-Brock offers some specific suggestions. Under the heading of presence, she says, don't be a robot. Suggestions for building presence include create a lively welcome video, provide feedback in video or audio format, greet students with a video each week, and offer synchronous meetings for those who need them. Under the heading of empathy, she urges instructors to sense when students need a little extra support. It can take some practice to cultivate empathy in an online course, where we can't read body language or sense frustration quite as easily as we can in a live classroom. But we can still do things like be approachable, check in with students individually, support students through difficult times, and send a supportive video message to a struggling student. Pacansky-Brock's third heading is awareness. She says, know your students. Survey students in week 1. Use a fun, low-risk icebreaker to get students connected. Build in formative feedback loops. Now, as you can see, some of these strategies do specifically involve multimedia technologies like video and audio, but not all of them. I think the point here is that it is not all about the technology. As I've tried to argue, our use of technology needs to be driven by purpose and by pedagogy, not just by the technology itself. So Julie Dirksen provides an essential foundation for our work. Dirksen helps us to better understand how people learn, and as you may have gathered by now, Dirksen's learning science absolutely supports what Pacansky-Brock says about participatory learning. So does Richard E. Mayer's research in multimedia learning. Students do learn better from words and pictures than from words alone, and they also learn better when they are active participants instead of passive recipients. So the question then is, how do we create that sense of presence and human interaction in our online courses? That's the question that we will be exploring in week 7. And I look forward to your answers, and I look forward to hearing what you find in the readings that will help us begin to answer that question too. So one last thought, and then I will leave you with an example. How can we make learning playful? I think playfulness and game design can play an important role in the process of designing and nurturing these learning communities. Too often, school takes the fun out of the learning. I think it's time to put some of the fun back in. So here is an example. This is a short video animation created by Lauren Snow to explain the concept of game mechanics. I want to thank Lauren for giving me permission to use this in this video for the whole class. Enjoy and have fun.
Good job, I guess.